Today on this edition of Panther Sports Talk, we recap another championship season for the UNI Volleyball program with head coach Bobbi Petersen. We bring you a story on a basketball player who's back in the starting lineup after being forced to the sideline last year. Recap a tremendous career for the league's setter of the year, and we feature a student athlete who's going above and beyond to give back and help her community. Panther Sports Talk starts right now.